Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower house or popular chamber in Indian Parliament. You know very well we have got three components in the Parliament: Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, and the President of India. In that, Lok Sabha is also known as the lower house or a popular chamber in Indian Parliament. Its maximum strength is 552. It comprises members belonging to the states, union territories, and nominated category. At present, there are 545 members. 533 represent the states and 20 members hail from the union territories. The president also nominates two Anglo-Indian members to the Lok Sabha. Means for a representation from the Anglo-Indian committee, president nominates two members to the Lok Sabha. Next. We'll see the election part, the members of the parliament, that is a Lok Sabha especially. The members of the Lok Sabha are elected by the registered voters of various states and union territories. See, every constituency, as you all know very well, for example, you take any constituency, you have a registered voters, we call them as a electorates. Okay, anybody above the age of 18 years, that is adult franchise, universal adult franchise, irrespective of they belong to any race, caste, religion, whatever is that gender, if they crossed 18 years of age, they are eligible for voting. So, they are called registered voters. So, the members of the Lok Sabha are elected by the registered voters of various states and union territories. What are the principles we use in this? The principles of direct election means we directly elect the member of the Lok Sabha, and adult franchise, that is anybody above the age of 18 can exercise their vote, and single member constituency, one constituency is represented by one person, okay, and secret voting are adopted for electing the members. What is secret voting? Secret voting means, see, even as a member of my family, to whom I am casting my vote, even my father or my brother don't know. I have to maintain the secrecy, okay. So that is secret voting. These all principles are adopted by us for election. As per the Constitution 84th Amendment Act 2001, in the total strength of the Lok Sabha, 131 seats are allocated for the reserved candidates. Of these, 84 seats are meant for the scheduled castes and the remaining 47 seats for scheduled tribes. In order to have adequate representation from weaker sections, they have given reservation of seats. Let's see the qualifications. The following are the qualifications prescribed for the person contesting for the members of the Lok Sabha. In order to be a member of Lok Sabha or to contest for the position member of Lok Sabha, you must be a citizen of India, okay, and a person should have completed 25 years of age. He must possess such other qualifications as prescribed by the parliament. See, these are the basic things are 1 and 2 only. Generally, you should be a citizen of India and you should have completed 25 years of age. It's not that you should have some degree like BA, BSc, BTech, PhD. That is not at all matters at all. Okay, but parliament from time to time it prescribes the eligibility criteria, and every candidate must pay rupees 10,000. If in case of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, rupees 5,000 as security deposit. Why this is introduced? See, to only entertain the serious candidates, understand, because if I say there is no security deposit at all, everyone, suppose there are 1,000 members in the constituency, all will say I will also contest for MP, I will also contest for MLA, like that. So there will be no seriousness. So to bring the seriousness, they introduced security deposit. What happens? Security deposit is like this: if you don't get a minimum amount of votes, your deposit is lost, understand, you will lose that amount. So every candidate must pay rupees 10,000 as security deposit, but in case of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, rupees 5,000. As per the recent directive of August 24, 2003, every candidate must submit an affidavit furnishing his previous biodata of punishment, educational qualifications, assets and liabilities, etc. See, recently the government has introduced this directive, that is, as per this, anybody who is contesting, he has to furnish to the government, that is to the election commission, the biodata. If suppose I am contesting, what is my previous history? I been convicted in any offense or not? All the criteria, and what are my educational qualifications, what are the assets I have, what are the liabilities, have I taken any loans and defrauded, and what is the property I have, movable and immovable, everything should be furnished in an affidavit. Affidavit means it is under our sign, we are responsible for that, means under not influence of anyone, we have written that this is right according to my knowledge. That has to be submitted to the election commission. We'll see the tenure of the members of Lok Sabha. According to the Article 83, the tenure of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. This duration starts from the first day of the first sitting of the Lok Sabha after general elections. For example, today elections are done or tomorrow results have come, and the first session is starting after 5 days. So we'll take the tenure of 5 days from when? From the first sitting of the Lok Sabha, not from the day of the result. Okay. So according to the Article 85, the President of India can dissolve the Lok Sabha earlier on the written advice of the Union of Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. See, under Article 85, the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha when directly he cannot dissolve like that. On the written advice of the Council of Ministers, which has been headed by the Prime Minister, then only he can dissolve the Lok Sabha. The President can, on the advice of the Union Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister, extend the tenure of the Lok Sabha under certain special circumstances like emergency for a period not exceeding 1 year. See, actually the term of Lok Sabha is 5 years only. You cannot make 6 or 7 just like that. But only when the situation demands, when there is an emergency, on the request of the Council of Ministers, on the advice of the Council of Ministers, which is headed by the Prime Minister, they can give in writing that we have to extend the tenure from 1 more year, not more than that. That is because there is an emergency situation, that crisis is going on in the country. Now this is not the right time for conducting elections. Then they can change that. Next, we'll see the sessions. The data and time of the sessions of the Lok Sabha are determined by the President. Who will determine this? The President will determine the date and time of the sessions. The Lok Sabha shall meet at least twice a year. Means in a year, in a calendar year, at least 2 times it should meet. More than that also it can meet. The minimum criteria is 2 times it have to meet. There shall not be a gap of more than 6 months between 2 meetings. So there should not be a gap of more than 6 months for between 2 sessions. Normally, the sessions of the Lok Sabha are held thrice every year, as we all know. What are they? The first session is known as budget session. Okay, first session is held in February, March, which is called as budget session, to discuss about the budget details and all. And the second session is conducted in July, August, in the months of July, August, which is called monsoon session. See, exactly, they may not stick to it. It depends upon, sometimes it may be little go up to September, like that, okay. Between that monsoon period, they have a session known as monsoon session. Similarly, they have third session called as winter session, which is conducted in November, December time. Okay, for that academic year, generally these 3 sessions are followed only due to sometimes, for example, there is a corona pandemic going on, may not be people attending that. During that, they can skip, but it's not that should be more than 6 months between 2 sessions. Understand? And what is the quorum? We'll see the quorum as we discussed in case of Rajya Sabha as well. Quorum implies minimum attendance required for conducting the meetings of the Lok Sabha. See, what is that? If I have to conduct a business or meeting, anything, at least I should have some attendance. No? Without anything, only I am the, I cannot conduct a meeting on myself and one more friend. Understand? You have to have minimum some, you have some 10 friends. You have to take a decision of which, at least some strength should be there. Okay. So minimum attendance required for conducting the meetings of the Lok Sabha is called quorum. So quorum fee is fixed at 1/10 of the total members. Suppose there are 500 members, minimum 50 members should be there, then only they can conduct the business. Understand? So quorum is 1/10 in this case. The speaker determines whether there is quorum on a particular day for conducting meetings. The speaker will see whether if they have to go with the sessions and meetings, minimum attendance is there, that 1/10 of attendance is there or not. If that is not there, they will postpone for further. Thank you.